Alright, well I'm back with yet another Pauper deck tech. So today I want to look at this mono red Pauper equipment deck that I've come across online. I've been building a few Pauper equipment decks, usually in red and white, revolving around Champion of the Flame and Goblin Gavalier. So a Goblin Gavalier is 1 red mana for a 1/1 with trample, and it says it gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. Then Champion of the Flame, 2 mana for a 1/1 with trample, and it gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So they both reward you for just putting tons and tons of equipment on these creatures. So the idea for this kind of deck is that you want to play lots of cheap equipment with very low equip costs and put as many of them as possible on the Gavalier and the Champion and smack for a lot of damage. So this player has built a pretty interesting looking mono red version, which is probably not very finely tuned yet, but I think it's a good starting point for some brewing. So let's look at our creatures. So of course we have the Champion and the Gavalier. Then this player is playing 2 copies of Goblin Grappler, 1 red for a 1/1 with Provoke. So it says when this creature attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block it if able. So Provoke is a pretty cool ability. I've seen how good it can be in my Slivers deck with Hunter Sliver. Like you can essentially use a creature with high toughness to provoke your opponent's creatures into blocking to essentially kill them. So this creature is pretty good if we stack equipment on it to just take out our opponent's threats. Then another one of our creatures, which is also an equipment, is Simian Sling from Neon Dynasty. So it's 1 red mana. It says equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it says whenever Simian Sling or equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to a defending player. And then it has Reconfigure 2, so you can attach this to a creature, and while it's attached, it stops being a creature. So this is kind of like a little fun, annoying equipment/creature. This deck is also playing this new card Goldhound from New Capenna, which is also kind of interesting. So it's 1 red for a 1/1. It's an artifact creature, Treasure Dog. So it has First Strike, Menace, and tap, sacrifice Goldhound, add 1 mana of any color. So 1 for a 1/1 with First Strike and Menace is a decent threat to stack equipment onto, and then you can also use it for mana ramp as well, which is quite interesting. Okay, so those are all the creatures, not a lot of them. Then we play 17 lands, just 16 mountains, and 1 Forgotten Cave for cycling. Now the equipment. So we are running a full 17, well technically 19 equipment. So first up we have Bonesaw, 0 mana, equip cost 1, equipped creature gets +1/+0. Then we have Boots of Speed from the D&D set, 1 red mana, equip cost 1, equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has haste. Okay, then also from the D&D set we have this pretty cool new equipment, Leather Armor, 1 mana, equipped creature gets +0/+1 and has Ward 1, and the equip cost is 0, but you can only equip it once per turn. Then there is Dueling Rapier, 1 red mana for an equipment with flash. It says equipped creature gets +2/+0. The equip cost is 4, which is pretty steep, but it says when Dueling Rapier enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control, which is pretty cool. Then quite similar is Cliffhaven Kitesail. 1 mana, equip cost is 2, equipped creature has flying, and it says when Cliffhaven Kitesail enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Okay, and then again another equipment with a free equip is Utility Knife. Mana cost 1, equip cost 3, equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it says when Utility Knife enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Then good old Bone Splitter, 1 mana, equip cost 1, equipped creature gets +2/+0. Then this deck is playing 2 copies of Assault Strobe, 1 red for a sorcery, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Then there are 4 copies of Reckless Impulse, 2 mana for a sorcery, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. And then finally, for a little burn/removal, we have Galvanic Blast, of course. 1 red mana for an instant. deals 2 damage to any target, but if you control 3 or more artifacts, it deals 4 damage instead, which obviously in this very artifact-heavy deck is very easy. Then in the sideboard, 2 more copies of Goblin Grappler, 2 copies of Nile Spellbomb for Graveyard Hate, 2 copies of Molten Rain for land destruction, very good against Tron-type decks. Then 2 copies of Frostbite, 1 red for a snow instant, deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, it deals 3 damage instead. Then we have, quite interesting, the card Singe. 1 red for an instant, deals 1 damage to target creature. That creature becomes black until end of turn. Then for a bit of creature control, we have 2 copies of Electrickery, 1 red for an instant. It deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control, and it has an overload cost of 2. Then we have a set of Smash to Smithereens, a pretty useful artifact hate card. So it's 2 mana for an instant, destroy target artifact. Smash to Smithereens deals 3 damage to that artifact's controller, so a bit of direct damage as well. So this looks like a pretty cool starting point to do more testing and tweaking. I've had a lot of fun with these equipment decks, but I've always found them to be a little bit underpowered. But maybe this deck is a step in the right direction. If you have ideas for how the deck could be improved, please let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.